Hi, welcome. We've got another video now. This one's going to walk us through photographs on t-shirts. The Cornet digital printers we use are capable of high resolution photographic images that can be placed on a t-shirt. You can have just a slab rectangle image and a lot of time it look fine, but it's nice to just play with the borders a bit. Our online design tool will allow you to do that. You can add graphics, features, add a few filter effects. You don't have to be an expert in Photoshop. The tools are there for you to use. We'll just have a little run through and see what effects we can achieve. You can upload your image from your phone, from your camera, or grab it off Facebook, but still be aware of the quality that you're uploading the photograph in. If you give us a poor image to start with, we can only do so much. So we want to look at the image, make sure it's a good size before we upload it to the online design tool. We can also talk about how to add text, overlays. Maybe it's for a friend's birthday party. You want a picture of his face and you want to add "Happy Birthday Rob" over the top. Maybe it's a vacation t-shirt. The whole family's going to wear one, matching. Always looks great if you have the whole family out wearing the same holiday t-shirt. And we can do it. Stag and hen parties are another option. You can add a photo of the stag. Let's take a look at the software and we'll show you some of the steps, and some of the tools are there. Then you can feel free to play at your heart's content before submitting your order, which we will then print, pack and ship to you as quickly as we can. Okay, to start with, as usual, we'll start with the Shirt Shack homepage. That's myshirtshack.co.uk. If you're not already on it, click the logo, it'll take you to the homepage. If we scroll down, we can see our selection of t-shirts, our best-selling t-shirts, and we'll select the Gildan Soft Style t-shirt. Straight away, you get your options for colours, sizes, and we're just going to select Start Designing. A pop-up will appear. It asking if we're adding a design, adding text, or adding a team name. In this instance, we're going to just add a design because we're going to be looking to add a photograph. We're going to ignore the screen printing design. It doesn't apply here. I'm going to add DTG digital print. To upload your image, click on the Upload Image tab. Find the folder where your image is stored. And let's start with a picture of somebody's pet. Once the image is uploaded, you'll be asked to declare that you own the rights to this image. Once you've ticked "I hereby declare I own the rights to this image," click on OK. This will then pull the image into the online design tool. We can grab these corners and we can enlarge the image and size it as we like. If we click in the orange box, it will zoom in. If we click outside, we can zoom out, get a better look at what it looks like on the t-shirt. By clicking on the image, we can see if we've got a good enough resolution, good enough quality. If we look here, the image has been resized to the point where it may appear blurred, telling us it's not actually a great image. Close out of that. I'm going to open one of my favorite tools, clipdrop.co. Go to Tools. I'm going to use Image Upscaler. I'm going to select the image and I'm going to upscale it ×4. Once done, we can see a preview. It doesn't look that different on the screen, but the image size is much larger. When done, click Download and save. Back on our website, I'm going to add design, upload an image. I'm going to find my upscaled husky. Once again, I'm going to declare I have the rights to use the image. I'm going to click OK. And there we have it. So the image is much larger. Our quality bar is in the green, which means we've got a good size image to play with. So as usual, I can rescale the design. I can rotate. But for now, let's look at some of the other tools we've got. Position and size. We're happy with that at the moment. So if we come down and we look at effects, select effects, and you can see we have some color tint effects here. You can add a sepia tone, grayscale the image, black and white. We can play with the color balance. We can turn our image into a sketch. We can increase saturation of the image, get the colors to pop a bit more. We can use the charcoal sketch effect. an edge. If we don't like any of the effects that we're trying there, we can come back and click no effect. So normally with a photograph, you'll want to keep the colours as they are, unless you've got a particular look you're trying to go for, the pencil sketch. But feel free to play with them as much as you like. If at any time you decide you don't want, just come back up to the no effect option. What we're more interested in is the border option. So at the moment we have no border selected. If we select, we can see we have quite a few different options. And this will put a border around the image. Some of these examples would be a movie, film effect, collage, make it look like a Polaroid. But one of the ones we want to look at is the one where we distort the edge of the image. And if we come down, we'll look for this one. If we accept that and click into the orange box, we get to zoom in. And there you can see we've distressed the edges of the image. And I think it gives a better finish to the t-shirt. It feels softer, it's less dramatic. And we get a nice sort of gradient flare into the edge of the t-shirt. So I think that's a much better look than just a big square photograph. Another one that looks quite good for photographs is in these grunge effects towards the bottom. Give it a second to apply. I think that's quite a good effect. It really breaks up the edges of the image. It looks much nicer on a t-shirt. So we've got our graphic. How about adding some text? Well, let's add his name. Simple way to do that. So I'm going to come up to the top. I'm going to add some text. Again, I'm going to add digital print. And let's go for a really good dog name, Fido. In there, we can place the text. I can move the photograph down. I think it looks quite nice below. So let's move that up. And like with all text, we can come to the left and we can choose any font we like. We've got scripts, we've got fancy. Let's go for something Devonshire. No, can't read that. Yeah, I think that one works. We can change the colour of the font. What would work good? Let's take a dropper and just... So what I've done there, I've selected the eyedropper and I'm selecting elements in the image. So that'll give us a nice blend. So we've got Fido. Can outline the font. So if we choose to have a different colour, let's go with the grey there. And of course we can add effects to the font itself. A wavy. Bridge under. Arched over. I think none. We can add a shadow. Glows. But I don't think they're needed. And then of course we can add gradients. Vertical. Horizontal. Select the colour that the gradient blends from. Select the eyedropper. And let's choose one of the darker browns there. I'm going to switch from horizontal to vertical. Not sure I'm liking that outline now. So I'm going to come back into here, select the eyedropper, and I'm just moving around the image and I'm just looking for something that perhaps works a little better. Oh, actually the green there, that works. If we decide we're not so keen on that font any longer, we can come back in. And choose a different font. Now that one's a bit more readable. If I want to rotate, I can grab this little icon here with the circle and just rotate that over, drag up, and let's see what we got. So I think that looks quite good. So we've gone from a standard square photograph and we've just jazzed it up a little bit, but I think that's a marked improvement. It's all down to taste. Some might like it, some might not, but I think that's going to work. Okay, let's try something else now. Another popular option when we're uploading graphics is the traditional family photograph. So as usual, come to Clipdrop, Tools, Image Upscaler. Let's select this nice family portrait here. Upscale, select Download, and select Portrait. Portrait upscaled. Let's close that down. Come back to our main t-shirt. This time I'm going to change the t-shirt to white. I'm going to add design, add digital printed design, upload the image, and we're going to select portrait upscaled. And I'm just going to wait for that to upload. Once the image is finished processing, we can select we have consent and click OK. Our quality is in the green, so we're looking good. And we can see the preview there. As usual, we can size the image. But we've got the situation where we've just got a big square image on a t-shirt. It's not the best look. So we're going to select the image. Going to come to Effects. We're going to choose a border. And we're going to try a few different borders to see which one we like the look of best. Mosaic. Losing too much detail. I think in this instance we're just going to go with a good simple border. Just breaks up the edges, less sharp. And once again we can add some text to this. Add text, add digital print, the Jones. I'm going to add the text. I'm going to resize. I'm going to select a color. I'm going to select my eyedrop tool. I'm just going to select a color out of the image. So I'm just mousing over. I think that looks quite good. Change the font to something scripty, handwritten. I think that looks alright, but we need a bit of separation between the image and the text. So in that instance, I'm going to add an outline. Okay. I actually want to say the Jones family. But if you see, if I double click in here and I hit enter and add the word family, it keeps the same font. I can center it, but I've lost control and that's not the look I want. I don't want just 2 lines of text. So I'm going to come back in and delete the word the family, leave it as the Jones. I'm going to select into the t-shirt. I'm going to add text again. And this time I'm going to type family. So you can see I have a totally independent line of text there. It's going to come into the font. I'm going to select script, handwritten. I'm going to look for something. Not quite. Yeah, let's try that one. And let's rotate it up. Move it so it just overlays. Select the color. Eyedropper. Move that window over. Eyedropper. Let's select one of the flesh tones there. I don't think that looks scripty enough for me. So I'm in. Try fancy. No, Let's do script, calligraphy. So again, it's all personal preference. And a lot of time, you just click in and just seeing what works. Quite like that. But I think for that to work, we need to change the font that we've got the Jones in. So what I'm going to do is select that line of text. I'll come into fonts, fancy. Yeah, and let's go with typewriter. The Jones family. So you can come in and you can select all the features on the left hand side for the image that you've selected. So family there. Let's give it an outline. So we have a few other tools here. If we look at the top, we can select all. This now selects all the images, so I can resize them as one group. I can turn off the decoration border. I can select the arrows here and push Jones above the family. But in this instance, we do want the family above the Jones as its default laid out. When I'm done with my design, select my size, quantity, and hit buy to check out. You can also use these icons down in the bottom right hand side. We have the eyeball to preview the design. This will generate a larger preview of the image. I can add to cart. I can save my design for later use. You'd have to fill in some details and register, but it means you can come back to it and carry on designing at a later date. You can also email and share your design by typing in an email address, and you can add a personal message. So if you need to ask one of your friends, if you're designing for a group of people, you might want to ask them, is this the sort of design you wanted? You can also share on Facebook, share on Twitter and Pinterest. And if any stage you get stuck, we have our online designer help down here in the bottom right hand side. And this will be a text document walking you through what we've basically covered here. If we want to change the colour of the t-shirt, we can of course just click on the icons here to see what it looks like on a blue, turquoise, yellow, and of course black. What if I've made a mistake? I'm on the front of the t-shirt, but actually I need this on the back of a t-shirt. Well, the easiest way to do that is select one of the elements, come into select all, copy all, select the back of the garment and paste. I now have that graphic on the back of the t-shirt. Select the front. If I want to get rid of that design, I just click the red cross here. I'll get a warning message saying it's going to delete it. I click OK, OK, and OK. Let's try that stag design now. So I'm going to come up, add design, add digital print design, upload an image. Let's select this handsome fella here. So again, this is an example of a low resolution image. When I click on it, the quality is in the green at the moment, but if I try to enlarge that image, you can see what I'm actually doing is just blurring the image. The quality bar there is dropping down. So ideally, we want to have this as a larger scale. So I'm going to delete that image. I'm going to come back to Clipdrop. Select the image. I'm going to select ×2 and upscale. So one of the tools I have in here, in Edit, is to remove the background. That image we've just upscaled. I'm going to try a remove background. Now you can see it's done quite a good job. The checkerboard means this is going to be a transparent background on this image. I'm going to download, call it upscaled, transparent, and save. come back to our website, add the design. I'm going to upload the image we've just created. So there we can see the image now as a transparent background. If I enlarge the image, you can see the quality is starting to drop out. Now with the quality bar, as long as we're in the amber, we're still going to get a good image. A better option might have been that we just upscaled it ×4, but obviously that will be a larger file size and will take longer. I'm going to come into the text tool. Type in happy birthday. I'm going to resize that down a bit. Change the colour. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy, selected, I'm going to paste. That's going to give me 2 copies. I'm going to come up and change happy birthday to John's. Again, copy, selected, paste. And let's say, what does he look? About 30. John's 30th. Not my best work, but it'll do. And if I select all those with control clicking on each of the text boxes, well, it's maybe a good example to talk about the arching tools. We haven't been into those yet. So while happy birthday is selected, I'm going to come to effects, and we have this tool, text shape. So traditionally with text you would arch over, so we'll select that. Happy birthday, and that's changed the amount of arch because that was a bit too much. Obviously you can go full circle. I'm going to slide that up. Happy birthday, John's 30th. I think that needs an outline. Let's go something equally garish. Let's add a blue and do the same here. Select the blue. Because we're digitally printing, so why not? Let's see what that looks like on the top one as well. Add a blue. That's right, did I click the wrong one? Add the blue. And add the text. Outlines are really good. Arching the text is a popular way of doing things, but you can pretty much have at it and design it any way you want. And as usual, you can check out, add to cart, save it, email your friends, let them know what you've just created. I think the next one we want to look at is how we use the team names. You might have seen it up here. We've talked about adding designs, we've talked about adding text. But what is adding the team name? Well, if we were to take this example, we've got happy birthday, John's 30th. Let's say it's a group of guys. You're all going away for John's 30th. If we select the back of the t-shirt and we select add a team name, it's going to ask us to add a digital DTG print. I'm going to click OK. And we have different sizes can be added. So let's add another size. So let's say it's a group of guys. We've got 2 want a medium, 1 wants a large. And if they're a strapping young fella like myself, they're going to want a 2XL. I'm going to click next. In here, we've got the names. So we'll say John's in a medium. We can add a number. since it's a birthday t-shirt, let's add them all. Paul, Ringo, is that starting to look like the Beatles? I can't remember. John, Paul, Ringo, and George. How could I forget? And as usual, we get a chance to change the fonts and effects. We'll go Anton. It's a nice big bold font. Anton. And let's select that green. And outlines, we're going to use the blue. So as you can see in the top here, it's remembering what colours we've used throughout our designs. So these will keep appearing here. That just makes it a bit quicker to select the colour we want. John 30. Yep. That looks great. Now you can see the quantity is updated, and when we receive that print file, we're going to have the size and the name that you wanted on those t-shirts. So you can have whatever text you want, but it is restricted on a number. If you choose not to have a number, we can just delete those and OK, and then we're just left with what would be the name, the nickname. Since you might want to, this is a good opportunity again to talk about the previews. So there you can see the preview with the front and the back, and we could save this design for later, and again you could share it, so you could email the friends, the rest of the group, just to make sure they're happy with the design you've picked. But make sure you save and register, that way you can recall your design for later on.